Hey budget fam, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Today we are going to talk about my new cash budget system that I'm setting up while I'm living paycheck to paycheck, but want to continue being a cash budgeter, cash stuffer. We're also going to talk about like my color coding system and how I budget and how that kind of works into this custom binder that I just made. I got so many comments from you guys. Thank you on my last video about how it's nice to see somebody living paycheck to paycheck kind of being represented here in this cash budgeting community. Thank you so much for your kind words. It's really hard to put yourself out there, not know how you're going to get received. And I'm certainly in a stage of life where I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I've been living above my means, but I just recently cut up the credit cards and have to get it under control. So if you can relate to that at all, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for being supportive in the last video. Also, we're going to talk about it in a minute. Your comment on this video is an entry ticket for you to enter a giveaway to get this sticker set. We will talk about this and how I'm going to use it, but 6 of you guys who comment will win. I'll announce the winners in the next video, but I'm doing 6 giveaways like of these trackers. So if you comment at any point, no matter what you comment on this video, it is an entry ticket for you, just for me to send you this little goodie if you are one of the 6 winners. So let's get into my system. Quick recap. Everything that you see in my videos is in my own Etsy shop, except for, of course, this planner. This is a Hobonichi Weeks. But all of the cash budgeting goodies you see in my own videos are from my own Etsy shop. Have y'all looked at my website lately, jordanbudgets.com? I now have only the 52-week binders up, but the 52-week binders have been moved over. If you don't know, I'm moving off of Etsy, so I'm very excited. And if you've been on the website lately, you will see on jordanbudgets.com, I now have the 52-week binders launched on my own website. They ship from there. And of course, the $5 Jordan Budgets membership is over there. Okay. Let's get into this. First off, too, I want to say, though, none of this is live in my Etsy shop yet or on my website. This is the Bling collection. It's part of the Bling collection that is going to launch, crossing our fingers, next weekend. I will keep you guys updated. The place to look for updates on that is jordanbudgets.com. But if you are a part of the Jordan Budgets $5 digital membership, you guys are getting bits and pieces of that collection sent to your email in PDF form and the cut files on the 15th. So be a Jordan Budgets member if you want to get some of these, so you can print them and cut them yourself. Otherwise, that's a conversation for a different time, but I wanted to get out all of those things. Let's start, before we start putting this binder together, let me just talk really quick about something I've been talking about the last couple of months, which is my color coding system. I used to, like a lot of people, have 20 different colors representing 20 different things. I recently, these last few months, went down to four colors, 4 categories, and I feel like I could not have made a better decision for myself. It has helped me not feel so overwhelmed with my budget. So if you feel overwhelmed tracking your expenses, absolutely go down to less categories. Do that. Just try it. Give it a shot. For me, do it for me. Try 4 or 5 colors. See how you feel. My colors are blue, pink, orange, and purple. And I will say my orange color is for work because I do run Etsy and YouTube as my full-time income. So if you don't have your own business, I would say you only need 3 colors, in my opinion. Blue for me basically stands for all the stuff I have to do. So blue is all bills, parking, and gas. I have to park in the city sometimes, so that counts as a must for me. Gas for the car. I will say my parking and gas aren't too high. Whenever we start putting together the binder, you'll see my actual numbers and totals. And then the other blue category for me is credit card, interest, and fees. Now in my planner here, we actually just track it all as blue. At the end of the month, I total it all out, but it's still, I total it as 1 category and then as 3 different things. Does that make sense? If I'm moving too fast on this part, I will try to link on the cards here or down below the past videos I have done on this, but really if you search my last few videos, you'll get caught up on exactly how I'm using this. But this is the only place I track my budget. It's all on one page in a Hobonichi Weeks, like a small planner. So again, a minimalist kind of approach that has very much been working for me and keeping me from feeling overwhelmed. The only other categories I have are work is orange. That is, all stuff associated with my Etsy and YouTube and website, expenses associated with that. Then I have groceries and fast food in pink. All of my groceries, fast food, shopping for the guinea pigs, like household needs, all of that just combines together into one category. It's pink. It needs to cost me $800 or less per month. It is just what the budget will allow right now. And if I eat out too much for fast food, for example, I need to get less groceries because it's all the same category. It's not like I have $200 in fast food and then $600 in groceries. Honestly, the reason I do it that way too is because I feel like if I go over in groceries, then I'm like, oh, we'll just eat out less this month. And then whenever I go over in fast food, I'm like, oh, we'll buy less groceries. But then I don't really track the two together. I just kind of hope they collide and I pay attention at some point. So by putting the two categories together from the start, I pay attention to it all month. Like, oh no, we spent $100 in fast food this week. We have to go to Aldi and just get the staples for the pantry, right? Because we're already overdoing it. I could rant on that for a while longer, but let's move on for the sake of time. The only other category I have is other. Now again, this is the big category that I used to track like 20 different categories in. I'd be like, other, emergency needs, or other like fun for the kids, sports. Like I had so many categories. Instead, what I did is I just said other. So this month, for example, I had an eye exam, which was $170. We had a birthday present need for a friend, which was almost $50. I had to pay my car tags for the year. That was $300. And it's not like I had this money already in a budget binder. If I already had the money, like if I had a sinking fund for it, of course I would pull from it. But again, this is very much a budget. This is very much a setup that if you are living paycheck to paycheck, you don't have all of these like accounts saved up and ready to go. I'm starting from step one. So if you're also starting from step one, you don't have any back money, you don't have this enormous check coming in and you're already feeling overwhelmed. That's me right now, y'all. So this is where you can easily jump in. If I can do it, you can do it, right? I'm a single mom living off of an income that is low, very low. I'd say for the area that I live, my income is like a third of what other families are living off of. That's not an exaggeration. That I looked it up recently and I almost cried. But point is, I don't have any of this money already saved. So car tag goes in other. Soccer, we had a random soccer expense come up. Soccer is expensive here, but then there was like a tournament. My kid was going to be the only one that didn't pay to do the tournament. So I was like, okay, here's another $40. Point is, for this month anyway, I budgeted because I knew I had some big expenses this month. I budgeted $1,000. Now next month, I know that I should not have that many expenses, but things always pop up. So it's staying in the budget. Now, other for me is something that is changing month to month. The rest of these better stay the same, right? That's kind of how I'm using this. This is kind of a crash course. If this is moving too quickly, I'm so sorry. Let me know in the comments what part of this you would like to see more. If you have any questions or any interest in me really diving into the starting of budgeting paycheck to paycheck. But that was just a crash course of first, let me just say, I've been spending the last like 3 months really tracking my expenses, not necessarily cutting expenses, but giving myself reasonable goals to stick between. So with all that being said, that is kind of like my current budget and how I came up with the numbers that I'm putting in this binder. I canceled my credit cards, y'all. I straight up just canceled them the other day. I canceled one like a month ago. I tried to cancel another one 2 months ago, but like they wouldn't let me. I don't know. Capital One is being weird, y'all. And then I'm set up to have a phone call to straight cancel another one tomorrow, my final one, which makes me feel so nervous. In a credit card and card-driven world, I'm terrified to cut up my credit cards. I already know my credit is going to absolutely tank. I don't care. I've proven to myself over the last couple of years that I am not to be trusted with the credit cards. Maybe in a different season of life, we will get back to them. I just don't trust it right now. And for me, just straight getting rid of the credit card and getting rid of the credit card line is the only way to go for me. I'm not saying everybody should do that. I'm really not advising that. This is a great time for a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a financial expert. I am a single mom trying to survive 2025. That feels like a slogan. And I've just kind of realized that canceling the credit cards is something I have to do. Am I terrified? Yes. It is very scary. I don't want to say my entire adult life because I think they wouldn't let me have one for the longest time because I didn't have any credit. Anyway, I've definitely, though, the last, say, 5 years, had credit cards just in case. Well, over these last 5 years, those just in case credit cards have turned into, oh, I can spend money and then just pay it back within the month. And that worked for a good several years. When it stopped working is when I moved this last year. I got overwhelmed with life. I got overwhelmed with living expenses. I mentioned earlier, the median household income here is $95,000 per year for a family. I've been living on like 35,000. And when I say I've been living off of that, that's false, because I've been putting money on credit cards. We're at the point where I need to be paying like $1,000 per month on credit cards to be out of credit card debt within a year. I really think I can do that. You guys always show up and support my shop. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So many of you guys have become members on like the digital membership on Jordan Budgets. It's $5 per month, and I send you like digital goodies of things that are launching. Thank you to you guys for doing that. So like, I'm not too worried, right? But I have reached the point of realizing I can't trust myself. So what I'm doing is only using my debit card and my cash money, which is terrifying. I think that was my original point, and I went off on a bit of a tangent. So what I did though, because I'm so overwhelmed with like, what am I even paying? What am I doing? I took the numbers that are in here. I've been adding them the last few months, and I know roughly what my bills, parking, gas, stuff like that. I know what it totals every single month. I know about what my work goal spending is. I know what my, I know what's coming this next month. So I know what my other should be, like the kind of goals. What I did was I took this information, I divided those totals by 4, and I made myself this custom cash budget binder. This is something that will be in my shop when the bling line launches, but it is going to be completely customizable. So I don't know if I'm going to launch too many of them because I don't want to overwhelm myself. Obviously, I would customize it for you guys. But what I did was I took my own personal categories and I broke them up into 4 weeks, because I do usually get paid once a week. Sometimes it's more than others, sometimes it's less. But I took that color coding system, I took those 4 categories that I have, and I broke them up into 4 weeks, because I do get paid every 4 weeks-ish. Let me move this. We'll talk about, these are both removable stickers. We'll talk about that in a second. But those are my 4 categories. And then ideally, I would be putting $20 per week also into my cash budgeting categories. So let's chat about how I would like to use this and what I'm going to be doing moving forward. Now, like I said, I'm a single mom living off of a variable income. So it might be particularly tricky for me and not so tricky for you guys. Let me know in the comments. But what happens for me is I'll have a good week and I'll say, oh girl, you got all this extra money. You can cash stuff it. You can put it towards, a vacation that you want to go on. You could do all kind of stuff because you really only need, okay, let's pause that and see how much do I need per week. With my bare bones budget, you can see that I cut my groceries. It was $800 a month. I'm saying we need about $150. Other is not going to be $1,000 this coming month. It's only $200. It's more of like a buffer emergency. Parking and gas, I only need about $15 per week. Work, about $100 per week. And then challenges, the goal is just to get $20 into, those savings challenge binders that I have. The last video I made a low income savings challenge binder. And then I have some Christmas binders going. So $20 goes into that, right? That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 720, 700. If I'm adding this correctly, that's $735 that I need every single week to put into, this is like our bare bones budget. So what happens is if I have a good week, or maybe I get my Etsy and YouTube money like in 1 week, I'll say, oh, I've got $1,000, 250-ish can go into this other thing. Girl, no, it cannot, because if you had a good week, then next week is probably going to be a little bit low or whatever, right? So what I'm doing here is my goal is to stuff, and we can start kind of putting this in as I chat. Let's see if we can make room for all of the things. Bills, parking and gas, groceries. Again, blue is my like, girl, you gotta do this category. Pink is groceries, fast food, which I am cutting this budget. So my goal is to do no fast food for the next at least 6 weeks, just to kind of get that out of habit. Other within the week. And then let's put our work week stuff last. it is something that like I have to put money towards work to continue it being my job, right? But we can get away with like lowering that while we kind of get ourselves on track. So those are our categories. We're going to put them in here while I chat. My goal is we will be cash stuffing this every single week. We will stuff $400 into bills every week. Parking and gas will get 15. Groceries will get 150. Other, which again is like literally everything. All medical stuff for me has to come out of this other category. Challenges that we would cash stuff go in there, and then work week $100. Here's the thing. Some of these categories, because I am living paycheck to paycheck, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this because this is a new method for me, but groceries week 2. Ooh, watch me get off trying to cash stuff this and talk. I like that this is color coded with what I'm tracking because then it makes so much more sense in my brain. Like I said too, I'm really getting back to only cash budgeting. I would like to pull this. I will be pulling from here as needed because again, I am living paycheck to paycheck, paycheck to paycheck. This is not getting ready for next month, right? Now, sometimes things might get to stay. For example, if it is the third week of the month, I know I don't have any bills that come out the third week of the month, so that 400 gets to sit. But then the next week, I'm likely pulling it and going ahead and paying my rent because, you know, the next month is going to come up. So what I'm really trying to say is, and I'm sure the more we talk about this binder and kind of live in this binder, it's going to become more clear and I'm going to get better at explaining it. But there's going to be random pockets of money sitting all over the place because I may just not be pulling something that week. But then, so like, let me show you, for example, groceries week 2, let's say I stuffed groceries week 1 and I pulled all of it and used the entire budget for that week. Let's say groceries week 2, I pull most of it. You know, I'm going on a grocery trip, so I pull most of it, but $20 is left behind here. Moving forward, my goal is to leave that money sitting there. I'm going to stuff it likely on Mondays, but then throughout the week, use it. So by the end of the month, the idea and the hope is that there's like little pockets of money sitting in here, and that will just give us the tiniest bit of jump start into the next month, into like bills or whatever, right? Eventually, we might be able to use some of that towards savings. However, like I said, I'm also in debt. So realistically, what we might do is pull it, see what was left over, and get to put that towards debt. We'll see. The main thing, you guys know, the main reason I love cash budgeting and the main thing that is important to me is to keep your budget fun, to keep it inspiring for you. So that's really all I'm trying to do here, right? Is to keep it fun, keep it inspiring. And I have some fun ideas on how I think this is going to work, that I'm going to get to cash stuff, even though I'm low income and living paycheck to paycheck, right? We're about to be in the third week. Actually, what we're going to do too, I love these disc binders, y'all. We're about to start week 3. So let's go ahead. We might do this every week too, but for sure this time, let's keep it right in front here. And we know when our money comes in, I actually think we won't be able to cash stuff until Tuesday. I think that's when the money hits my account because this would be a paycheck from Etsy. We will take my Etsy check, we will put it into bills, parking, groceries, other challenges, and work. I also think, because there's sometimes that I don't have that 700, y'all. Like I said, sometimes the weeks are better, sometimes they're not. So if we have more than the 700 that we need to correctly stuff the week, we will put it into like the next week and try to get us building in the right direction. If we have less than we need, we'll prioritize. We'll say, well, we actually need gas this week, or we don't need gas, so we're not going to put it in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll figure that out as it happens. But I feel like this is a reasonable plan. Tell me what you guys think. Now, the other thing is, like I said, none of this has launched yet officially, but keep an eye on jordanbudgets.com if you're interested, especially in a custom binder, because my thought is this is going to be on the website and it's going to be completely customizable to your own categories and your own colors, because you might use different colors for different categories. There's going to be a limit on 24 different sleeves and maybe 4 or 5 different colors. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out in the actual listing. But The full bling collection is super cute, y'all, and I'm so excited to share it with you. But if you're interested in the custom, for sure, keep an eye on jordanbudgets.com, because I may only launch 5 to 10 of those to see how it goes the very first time. And I don't think those are gonna last very long. Okay, my intention with this bling, both of these are stickers. It's removable, so it shouldn't destroy any pages or anything you put it on. And then these little dots all have different numbers on them. I don't know if you can see them well with the camera, but they have 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25, or 50 on each category. By the end of this savings challenge, you would have $1,000 emergency savings. So here's what I'm doing with this. Because like I said, I'm moving to the only cash and the bank account. Whew, terrifying, right? Is anybody else nervous for me? Let me know. Because it's just gonna be my debit card, and I want to start building a little bit of a buffer in my banking account, which I have not done. Y'all have been so poor. Just honestly, to be completely frank, I've been so poor. And it's okay, money can be built up. It's been a huge transition year for me and my boys. I've also been homeschooling for them for years out of necessity. If we're homeschooling again next year, I have a pretty great plan. If they're in private school next year, we have a pretty great plan. So either way, I'm feeling comfortable, especially as they get older. They give me way more work hours now, so I'm not too concerned. I'm also not opposed to getting a part-time job. It's just, I'm giving myself 1 year, y'all. If I can build up Jordan Budgets in 1 year back to what it was and back to what it could be, then I don't have to get a part-time job. If at this time next year we are still struggling, we're getting a part-time job, at least, y'all. I don't know, we will see. But okay, wow, the tangents are real today, y'all. Sorry. My point is, this sticker is created to go in Hobonichi Weeks. I know a ton of people that use Hobonichi Weeks. I'm currently using the Hobonichi Weeks to do my tracking. So the intention was, I'll put my tracker here for a $1,000 buffer for my banking account. Did I even clarify that? This $1,000 emergency savings is stickers. So like if I put $5 in that savings, I get to put a sticker down. This is to create a cushion in my Wells Fargo in the case of an emergency. I created it. The sticker is gonna go great in a Hobonichi Weeks if that's what you have. I think though, just to keep it all together, I'm actually gonna put the sticker on the back of my, you know, my little like custom binder here. And my custom binder is likely to change every couple of months or so. That is my hope, that my income will change and then this binder will get to change. So hopefully we can do this $1,000 savings in the next couple of months. And then when we revamp the binder, we can move on to a different sticker challenge. Or maybe at that point I would want to put it in the Hobonichi Weeks. But for now, I thought about it and I was like, oh, that's a good place to put that sticker. It's just right here, it's all together. So here's what I'm thinking. When I pull the money to cash stuff, my thought is when I pull the cash to be able to cash stuff into our living by paycheck binder, let's call it, I will pull $5, $10, whatever. And I actually just pulled $5 this morning just to get myself started because I wanted to I was excited to start, right? The whole reason I make cash budgeting stuff is to feel inspired. And so my little tracker here is doing well because I felt so inspired. I was like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and move $5. So I moved $5 from my checking account to my savings that is connected to my checking. So ideally, I will have this $1,000 emergency savings. My kids came in. Truthfully, I have no idea what I was saying. I think I was just explaining to you guys. Basically, everything that I'm saving and the way that I'm budgeting is cash, except for I'm starting to build up this $100 emergency savings in a savings account that is connected to my checking. If you guys remember a long time ago, I said I hate saving in my checking because then I'm tempted to spend it. This is going to be saved in a savings account connected to my checking. So if I truly need it, if we get out and we're in a bind, I have to log into my account, move it from savings to checking. Like, you know, there's still a barrier there before between me and just blowing that money. So hopefully we will see this getting tracked and see that moving over the next couple months. And if you're interested in the sticker set, like I said, leave a comment. It's going to immediately enter you into a giveaway. I never announce those videos in the comments though. So if you see an account pretending to be me, ignore them. I do not announce winners of giveaways, on comments. So Anyway, that is it. I'm happy to have this set up. We will cash stuff this coming week for week 3. So we went ahead and put the week 3 here in the front. I'm excited about this new setup. Let me know what you guys think. If you are also excited, if you have any ideas or thoughts to share with me, I am all ears. Yeah, that is it for this video. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.